Hey guys, here I am at XenonZcar. We're going to go ahead and work on the 85300ZX today. Going to work on the actual intercooler plumbing as well as do some exhaust work on it. It's pretty much all it lacks before we go ahead and get the ECU hooked up and get some fluids in her. And she can get fired up and see how she runs with the turbo set up on the VG33. So I'm going to go ahead and show you around a little bit, show you what we're doing. Alright, so first thing, here's some of the intercooler piping that we went ahead and got cut, and it's all ready to be fabbed and welded. This is actually for the driver side. It's going to be the charge pipe going into the intake out of the intercooler. In a second here I'll take you over to the car with these pipes and show you how this goes together for those who want to go ahead and build intercooler setups for their Z31. I was here with my Alpha TIG this morning, playing around, trying to get used to it. I'm not a professional welder by any means. I started welding about 2 years ago, and trying my hand at TIG work here. This is some 16 gauge sheet aluminum. You can tell with trying to run some beads to some butt joints. Getting some decent penetration from what I can see. Did a bend test on this here, and there's no cracks or anything. It looks pretty good. Here's a couple other ones that I did. It's definitely a big learning curve when it comes to TIG welding versus your MIG. Alright, so we're over at the 85300ZX. As you can see, I have her pulled apart and got the intercooler installed using the bracket that I make that comes right off of the bolts for the front bumper mount. So it comes off, made of 3/16 steel, comes across, and you probably won't be able to see it very well, but got tabs coming off the bar, and the intercooler just mounts right to it. I go ahead and always run my intercoolers right through the fender well. We're going to go ahead and put a plastic ribbon, a bead ribbon around that, like the door edging. That way it doesn't cut anyone or anything like that. Off the turbo, which you can see down here, to AGP, which is Arizona Turbo and Tractor's brand, I guess. They put a T4 cold side on the stock T3 that these cars come with. I'm undecided whether or not we're going to run the stock mount here, or if I'm going to go ahead and use one of my pass-through mounts for this car. It's looking more like I'm going to go with the pass-through. Just easier access to the turbo for all the piping. But let me go ahead and start throwing some of these pipes in. Alright, I got the first couple tubes here connected. Right here you can see coming off the throttle body, we're going to do a quick 90. Off of here we're going to have the nipples for all the emissions controls. This one's here for the air control valve on the passenger side. Has to come in. I'm going to probably put it right about here. That we can run a straight shot of tubing right to it. And then you have your air regulator valve over here. That's going to have to come off and then go on into the intake here somewhere. The PCV, for right now, I got to see how I'm going to plumb that, or if we're just going to run filters. We might even just do a catch can setup on it. Really not sure yet on how we're going to manage the PCV today on this car. Other than that, as you can see, it flows down underneath the AC compressor. The other pipe here is the charge pipe coming off the turbo. We're going to run this over past the charcoal canister. We're going to push that charcoal canister up a little bit further and go right again through the wheel well on the passenger side and down into the intercooler. Let me go ahead and throw this last pipe in so you all can see what the rest of this is going to look like. Alright, so here you can see we're going to put a coupling right here at the AC compressor underneath it. Just a regular straight 2.5 inch coupling. And the piping is going to run down through the fender well as such. And let me get you a picture through the fender well here. You can see the clearance. There's going to be plenty of clearance for the tires. Down through into the 90. And this is going to be all one solid piece. And that's pretty much how I do the intercooler plumbing on these Z31s with the VGs. It's pretty simple. It's just a lot of cutting and welding. Alright, well, we got the pipes all welded up, and this is the final result. As you see, it goes down underneath the AC. Little coupler here, down through the fender well. I'm going to clean this weld up here a little bit. But through the fender well, down to the intercooler. Elbowed. And then it's going to come over through this side. I didn't get this side together yet because we're just going to use some pre-bent pieces, a couple of 90s, and it's got to make one more hole. But that's pretty much that. We'll work on the exhaust here as well later. Alright, so we went ahead and start building the exhaust downpipe here. This is just the first piece in it. It's made up of basically a couple of 45s that I cut, and then I extended that little the down piece straight by about 1.5 inches. Alright, well here you go. This is what it looks like with it bolted up to the exhaust elbow there. As you see, I got one more bend I got to do, and it can go straight back to the stock hanger, which was located, if I can get the light, right there. And we can head right on back over the rear cross member. Guys, if you enjoy this video, feel free to go ahead and subscribe and give me a big thumbs up. Hopefully you enjoy all this.